All right, everyone. Hello and welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Plenty of transfer drama going on as we're winding down. About 3 weeks left in the window. Season starts on Friday, so business time is at hand. The business end. Time to get all of the transfers in. Lots of stuff going on, and we're here for it. If you're here for it as well, go ahead and smash up the likes, subscribe to the channel, and get that notification bell on. So where do we want to start? I mean,
I would
let's
like to
start down
say that
another
I
bid.
called it last week that Chelsea was going to give in and buy Caicedo. It's going to happen. It's going to
Perfect.
happen.
We'll start
Everything
there.
looks like it's truly going to happen, and it's needed. So I think someone mentioned something interesting today because if you don't know, it sounds like Nkunku is going to be out about 2 months. He has an meniscus injury. Yeah, and it's on the same knee that he injured earlier last year or earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a concern. But somebody mentioned, well, with Caicedo, you could play Enzo in a 10 with Caicedo behind him and do like a Gallagher or another purchase because there has been talks about another purchase as well. Or you could do Caicedo, Angelo, or not Angelo, Santos. Yeah, Santos and Enzo, and then that would be a pretty strong area right there.
But it's looking
Caicedo,
like Gallagher is going to get the start.
I think he'll get playing time. I do.
Well, I mean, at the beginning, initially.
Yeah, for sure at the beginning. But I think that he is, and we kind of talked about this when we were in Atlanta, he's a really good sub late because he's gonna give you everything. He's gonna pressure the ball, he's gonna press. He's just gonna be all over the place. So I think he's a good sub late. I don't think he should be a starter for a Chelsea team that is supposed to be potentially good this year. But I do think he has a place. That said, Caicedo most definitely 100% needed. Like there are times where you're like, yeah, that's kind of no. Caicedo is 100% needed, and I think Chelsea has kind of made that decision. Like, hey, we got to get him now. There's no more waiting, no more playing around. But it sounds like that this last bid is probably going to be the bid that gets it done. And then Chelsea is. I saw 100, or I saw, what was it, 95 plus add-ons, but achievable add-ons.
Plus sterling.
In euros or pounds?
Pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Wow.
It's expensive. So I think that I expect that to get done. Chelsea's in on Elise. They're also in on.
I heard City was in on Elise.
Yeah. But Chelsea, for some reason, I know why. He came from the academy. So he has a strong affinity to potentially come back, especially if he can get into the starting lineup, which I think he would consistently.
Plus the Nkunku injury.
With the Nkunku injury, especially. And then there's also talk if, for some reason, Elise doesn't go through, then Ryan Shirky from, I think it's Montpellier. He's a young guy, but he's really performed well in Liga 1. And unfortunately, the Neymar rumors have begun. I hope it doesn't happen.
Is he just trying to pull an Mbappe, and get more attention, get the limelight back on him?
I can see it.
Because it's all about Mbappe over at Paris,
It's interesting though that way that
got it. Neymar still got it though. He's he's not too old,
But he only plays 3 games and then he takes 2 weeks off.
Yeah, it's weird. So would you want that at Chelsea?
I don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him at Arsenal either.
I don't think he would work like Poach wants him to. And I think that's one reason why Felix wasn't kept because he wasn't going to work like Poach wanted him to. Which I mean, I would love to have him back, but he's not going to work, so it won't work. Tongue twister. There's also talk of doing Caicedo, Enzo together, and Carney as the 10. That would be interesting. But there's just so much unsettled there. I think the back line is taken care of. But I think you see Chelsea probably buy 3 more players. That includes Caicedo, but I think they buy 3 more players.
Wow. Yeah. All right. So that leads me to ask, I feel like Brighton have done decently in the window, but if they do get rid of Caicedo, there's not really anyone else there that's doing that job. And I also heard a rumor that, was it City that was in for Matoma?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Please, God, no. Please, no. please, no. They got Gavardi all over the line. And maybe there's still a Mahrez-sized hole in the squad.
Most expensive defender ever.
Yeah. Please don't give City Matoma. They don't need that. You don't need that, okay? Yeah.
Oh, Chelsea's also linked with Vlahovic. I think that's his name. I hope they don't sign him. I hope they don't sign him.
Yeah.
I just don't see how he's a fit.
I mean, I don't know. There's not really a big target man at Chelsea.
No.
So as Chelsea fans, what's the starting 11 then?
Kepa, James, Silva, Colwill, and Chile. And then I think once Caicedo goes through, you've got Caicedo, Enzo. I think Carney plays.
It'll be Gallagher, man. They love him so much.
I think
over Gallagher? Over Gallagher?
There's no way Gallagher doesn't start.
There's no way Gallagher doesn't start this season.
I think, of course, Jackson and, of course, Mudryk on the outside.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that they need to buy someone in defense? Because if Silva goes down, Silva's not going to have 38 games this season.
We did buy somebody in defense.
And what, have 6 of them, and have 6 of them to choose from next season?
Yeah, we bought somebody in defense.
I mean, we're
Axel Disasi.
Yeah. When does Badiashile come back? Isn't he still injured as well?
He's still rehabbing.
3 months?
He had a shoulder injury.
Wow, 3 months, really?
Is it 3 months? He's been
something
working.
like that. Yeah, I just read the.
Or maybe from when he did it. From when he did it.
Still. No,
Yeah.
it's.
Good grief.
He's coming back the same time Nkunku is, which is 3 months out.
I mean,
the injury report.
that's why I'm asking. Like, do you got the cover? I know you got the bodies, but is everybody too hurt? Because if James, like y'all desperately need to keep James and Chile healthy this season. Like, that's like top.
If that happens, our season. Yeah, if that happens, we're mid-table again.
Wrap them up.
We're mid-table all day.
Oh yeah, wrap them up in wool for sure.
All day.
Cotton, because I'm just saying, because one man goes down in that defense and it's looking shaky.
Well, you can always they tried it in the summer. They played like a 3-5-2, and they played Cuckoo on the left. And they went with Colwill in the middle and Chalobah on the right. They could do that in a pinch.
Yeah.
But I think that
Yeah,
you
it's
see
late
this.
September, Thaddeus Shields delivery date.
Yeah, sure.
So we got DeSassi. We brought him back. He brought him in. He's supposed to. He's already with the team. Same with Robert Sanchez. I don't think he'll be ready, of course, for Liverpool, but I think for Liverpool, you see James, Silva, and Colwell with Chile in the back.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. A couple of headlines to look at. West Ham United are trying to spend the Declan Rice money,
Yeah.
but they've gone for Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. And did I read that right? That said $70 million combined bid.
77 million, I think. Or maybe
This
that's
is just the most insane thing to me because one, Man United should have taken that yesterday and laughed their way to the bank. And two, why would West Ham be doing this? Like I was saying earlier before we got on, that their current midfield is better than McTominay, and I'm better than Harry Maguire. So what?
is.
I'm confused. Like I just think it's alarming what the lack of anything at West Ham. After having won a European trophy, you have lots of money now because not only the prize money, but we just gave you $105 million. And you go for Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Is this a David Moyes move? Because I've heard that he's kind of disgruntled with the people who were making these decisions. I'm just baffled.
I think it's interesting. You start to see it a little bit more with newer promoted teams where they take the guy that is on the fringe of the starting lineup for a Premier League team and puts them in the starting lineup. I think that as more money goes into the Premier League, you're going to see this more and more, where teams are going to be paying, $100 million for guys that don't even start because they play in the Premier League or they've played in the Premier League. We
Paying
talked
$65
about
million for someone's going to ride the bench.
I know, right? Like there was no reason for you to spend 65 on Kai. But anyways, by the way, your best bit of business, I know you love Rice, was Timber. That dude he's
awesome.
He's awesome. He'll
start. Zinchenko is out. He's injured. Still.
It wouldn't matter. Timber would still start over.
Yeah,
I agree. 100%.
Timber's fantastic.
I 100% agree with that.
You could actually move Zinchenko up, and he could play in your midfield. He could replace somebody in there, so you don't have to play.
Really? You're gonna bring that? Really? You're gonna bring that up? We're talking transfers, not Arsenal madness. It's transfer madness, not Arteta madness.
But I will say, you spend 100 on Rice. Chelsea's about to spend 100 on Caicedo, and they may be top tier players. I'm not saying they're not, but I don't want to say it's inbreeding, but it feels like teams are like, well, they've played in the Premier League. They know what they're going to be getting themselves into. I need that. I need that in my starting lineup. That's why Gallagher was Tottenham was interested in spending $40 million on Gallagher.
Patrick, you brought up a very interesting point. I remember hearing something like this. So far, the transfers that are the biggest transfers right now are guys who don't score goals. And so we're spending money. You got Vardiol. This is tongue in cheek, but I got to do it. Havertz. Who doesn't score goals? And then, so you're looking at your biggest transfers are guys who don't score. So if you're going to spend money on a guy who scores, how much money is that going to cost?
Only cost Chelsea $35 million. So
yeah. Well, you didn't buy Mbappe or Kane or Neymar.
Like a real person that scores, not.
Yeah.
So
That's why Mbappe's 200.
Yeah.
And Tottenham have rejected 110 million from Bayern, like, which is dumb, and we'll get to that. But it's about the valuation,
Yeah.
The goal scorers are going to be even more. I agree.
but for
Well, I
West
was
Ham,
in a
it's
tweet
'cause-
earlier where there's like a formula that Premier League teams do when it comes to transfers within the league. That's why you see the British tax or whatever it's English taxes as referred to as. And this was an unnamed scout, anonymous of course, who was saying, or maybe it wasn't a scout, but anyways, who was saying that it's been all thrown out the window this summer. Like there's no like rhyme or reason to valuations now. That it's just, I say he's 100 million, you're gonna pay 100 million. Romeo Lava, which I know Spurs had, or not Spurs, but City has, first refusal. Liverpool, they've already offered 45 to Southampton.
They've had a third bid
Southampton said no.
rejected. They've had 3 bids rejected for Lavia.
Yeah.
We've rejected a 40-something odd million for Balogun. Like, these valuations are out of control.
They are.
We want $64 million for Florian Balogun.
It's crazy.
What?
But it's because so much money is flowing into the Premier League that the valuation of the dollar or the pound or whatever you want to, or euro, it's not as precious as it used to be, because it's like, oh well, we'll get more. I mean, that's why when people are giving Chelsea hell for the money they spent, I can understand it. But they went around and they sold like 275 million, pounds in guys to get rid of.
No one talks about net spend. No one says anything about
City
net.
talks about
Liverpool does too, from my experience. But I think that we're going to continue to see these ridiculous transfer fees. I mean, Caicedo, I love Caicedo. I told you when we were in Atlanta, I'm like, okay, there's a reason why he is, really highly valued. He came on the field and he took that Brighton team looked totally different in terms of against the press. But 100 mil? 100 mil.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I'm with you. Well, all right, then. There you have it. I think that's all for now on all the transfer business. We've 3 more weeks in the transfer saga to go. Season does start on Friday. If you're as excited as we are, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and get that notification bell on. We're going to be here all season long. Thanks for listening, and have a good night.